Bible adventure number 5. A huge tower, from Genesis 11. Soon after the flood ended, Noah became a grandfather, for God gave children to Noah's sons and their wives. These grandchildren grew up and had children too, until after a while the world was full of people again. Don't you suppose these people would be very careful not to make God angry? They knew about the terrible flood and what had happened to all the people before. But no, they didn't care. They kept on doing all sorts of bad things. Perhaps they weren't afraid of God because of the rainbow and God's promise not to send another flood. But there were many other ways that God could punish them. He could send sickness or war or not enough food, or he might send down fire from heaven to burn them up. But they just seemed to forget about this. Their hearts were bad, so they acted just like the people before the flood, and they constantly sinned against God. There was only one language in the world at the time. Today there are hundreds of languages, like English, Spanish, French, German. But in those days, the people all talked the same. So everyone in all the world could understand each other. One day, the people talked to each other and they said, "Let's build a high tower as high as the heavens." So they began to build it. We're not told exactly why they wanted this tower, but it could have been because they were so proud and they wanted everyone to see how great they were to build such a high tower. It's very sinful to be proud, and God knew what they were thinking. One day the Lord came down from heaven to see the tower, and he was not happy about it. He decided to stop the people from building it. So he made them begin to speak in different languages. Now they couldn't understand each other. One man would ask another for a hammer, and the other man couldn't understand him. This made them angry with each other, and soon they stopped working and went home. They must have been very frustrated. They didn't even want to live near each other anymore. So all those speaking the same language lived together and moved away from those who didn't speak their language. That's why different languages are spoken today in different parts of the world. So the tower, which was called the Tower of Babel, was never finished. The word Babel means mixed up. When people began to talk in different languages and couldn't understand each other anymore, they got all mixed up. That is why the tower was called the Tower of Babel. Here are our thought questions. Did the people try to obey God? Why did they want to build a tower? And what did God do? That's the end of our story today.